A lot of God can happen in 3 seconds. Not much heaven, though. Here's a man before a fight. A leave me alone type character emerging from the penniless death of a one-way street fiction, a fancy way of saying I'm gonna make it even if I have to drive backwards. All I have is chord changes and 1,000 backhands, driving the street like I'm choking it, car full of nephews, hasn't been a sun since November, and there hasn't been a street I can't choke to death, this city better back down. Hey, you see this gun on the table? There's something about staring until it all feels stable. Why wouldn't I protect everyone? On my death sleep late. My son better be quick. My daughter better shoot first. Because we fold for no one. We fold for nothing. Okay, the first thing you'll feel is the heat. This lady would tell me, trying to tell me about possession. Drink life need is what I mostly hear. Most of the world leaves me alone. To breathe smog like a giant, to go to jail every once in a while. When the genocide kicks up in late May, when politicians have too easy a time, I'm gassing backwards out a one-way street in honor of myself. And in honor of you, if you understand the nature of the world. How long I've been just like my father? Well, hell of a resemblance says the anxiety of the neighborhood. This is a crossroads or a crossroads narrative. At so much crossroads, people get in the habit of turning back. Turn back only to find themselves remembering me, but not my last words. A man before a fight, you'll feel the heat. But there's nothing to keep in mind. There's nothing to remember. Really, there's nothing to be. It's just this moment, then another, then stare, then it all becomes stable, then the table legs go fuzzy, and Friday's an unfamiliar face peeking in the window. It's cool to panic for a second. Composure is wasted on your worst enemies. People are marked on that sidewalk. You know, only thing life-size. Everybody knows this in the wire hanger empire. When the blood stops walking, that feeling isn't father enough to be permission to fold. You better swing one more time. You know that father of yours rose from the grave and said, just give me 5 more minutes? He said, running water is a myth. It's us who are running up, down, and all alongside this water. And people don't rise from the grave. They're not laid down neither. It's us who flip all around their body. So beware when the people around you all look like they about to jump. It might be your time. You'll feel the heat. And when 4 walls demand to be 4 walls and the earth outside mutes, don't panic. Now, don't try to recreate the earth outside. Don't tell jokes to yourself. Don't even talk disrespectfully to the 4 walls. Instead, unclench your fist and walk away. There might be heaven if you understand the nature of the world. First, I should have apologized to the souls of the house because I'm wearing the cheekbones of the mask only. Like a pill bottle whose name is yours, name tagged on the side of a factory of risks, teeth of the mask now. Back of the head of the mask now. A new phase of anti-anthropomorphism offending for real faces. Stuck with one of those cultures that believes I chose this family. I'm not creative. Just the silliest of the revolutionaries. My blood drying on my only jacket, the police state psychic middleman evangelizing for the creation of an unmasked, an unmedgar, blood of a lamb less racialized or awesome prison sentence. Right angle made between a point on a Louisiana plantation and a 5-year-old's rubber ball 3 feet high and falling like a deportee plane to complete my interpretation of garden variety genocide. I'm small talk about loving your enemies a little more realistically about paper tigers and also, I need my left hand back. Broke my neck on a piano key, found paradise in a fist fight. Maybe I should check into the Cuban line. Watching the universe, last metronome, some call black Jacobins. They just wait. These religions will start resigning in a decade or two. Some colorfully, some transactionally in a cotton gothic society. Class betrayal gone glasses. Ironically, my window started fogging over too as I was trying to figure out which Haiti would get me through the winter. Which poem houses souls? Which socialist breakthroughs? Breakthroughs like taking 10 steps back and finally trying stillness. Like introducing Gabriel Prosser to Thelonious Monk. I remember childhood. I remember the word childhood being a beginning. Scribbling on an amazing grace, I rented this body from some circumference of slavery. Remember being kicked out the Midwest. Strange food theater, lithium in circuses, like-minded stomachs, the ruling class blessing their blank checks with levy phone, with opioid teas, sentient dollar bills, yelling to each other, pocket to pocket. Cello stands in the precinct for a company, counter-revolutionaries. My mother raised me with a simple pain. A poet loses his mind. Like the room has weather, or first girlfriend gravity. Difference between me and you, the madness wants me forever. A pair of apartments defining both my family and political composure. Books behind my back, bail money paved into the streets playing. Euphoria, cliche, bracing for the medicine's recoil. Sharing a dirty deli sounds, my friends, black Jacobins, underground topography of a grandmother's hands. Psychology of the mass now. teeth of the mask again. I go to the railroad tracks and follow them to the station of my enemies. A cobalt-toothed man pitches pennies at my mugshot negative. All over the United States, there are toddlers in the rock. I see why everyone out here got in the big cosmic basket and why blood agreements mean a lot and why I get shot back at. I understand the psycho-spiritual refusal to write white history or take the glass freeway. White skin tattooed on my right forearm, ricochet sewage near where I collapse into a rat-infested manhood. My new existence is living graffiti. In the kitchen with a lot of gun cylinders to hack up. House of God in part, no cops in part. My body brings down to Christmas. The new bullets pray over blankets made from the old bullets. Pray over the 28th hour's next beauty mark. Extrajudicial Confederate statue restoration. The waistband before the next protest post. Hey, by the way, man, time is not an illusion, Your Honor. I will save your deaths for last. You are witty, Your Honor. You're moving money again, Your Honor. It's only raining one thing. Non-white cops. And prison guard shadows reminded me of spoiled milk floating on an oil spill. A neighborhood making a lot of fuss over its demise, a new lake for a Black Panther party. Malcolm X's ballroom jacket slung over my son's shoulder, the figment of village, a new noose to a new white preacher, all in an abstract painting of a president. Bought slavers some time, didn't he? The tantra screeches of military boats and election Tuesday cars, a cold-blooded study in leg irons, proof that some white people have actually fondled nooses. That sundown couples made their vows of love over opaque piece plastic and bold action audiences. The Medgar Evers II is definitely my favorite law of science. Final news clippings and primitive Methodists, my arm chains imperialisms. Simple policing versus structural frenzies. Elementary school script versus even wider white spectrums. Artless bleeding and the challenge of watching civilians think. Man, it's terrible rituals they have around the corner. They let their elders beg for public mercy. I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen these kids' heads in the arrows myself and see how much gravy spills out of family crest. Modern fans of war with their fucking t-shirt poems and t-shirt guilt and me having on the cheapest pair of shoes on the bus. I had no choice but to read the city walls for signs of my life. These little societies, they wander together like hopeful drops of a virus. Citizen testaments bent on offering me a nation of breadwinners to hold me back like it's a Brinks. I wrinkle the concrete sometimes like flesh. My Martin Luther King permanence turned away from a podium into the reeds like God is a dangerous twin. Black August to the mountaintop, balcony on my bedroom floor. You know they fucking steal you from the earth itself and suspend you in your broken neck from their foolish euphoria. From the loyalty to their great superstition, loyalty to their agrarian reform, I return to my mother completely disrespected. For peeling the heat off of purgatory, they kill poets like me. Walk me away from my poems, never to be heard from again. In this foul industrial complex, the bloodlines picked over, picked through, a sporting spiritual death of your devil at least half made, police become a pretty word. I'm reading a lynch mob shoestrings like they were tea leaves, teaching you how to write about cities. It's the 25th century in the mirror, people. Tyranny against your chump turns you a chump to be mocked, even with a gun in your car. A cubit of needlework spelled tune for the proletariat, the relapse ministry. Talented people curled up in a fetal position next to a diamond, dying. Just another service day in the theatrics of tea-house fascism and a bouquet of surveillance cameras in the poverty of God. New blue eyes, courses of water, a newly potted presidency of one big shiny corner. If you ask animated capitalism, another non-literal voice killing his white freedom. The deification of hyphens, medicine bread and picture shows, great protesters in LA, guests of our ink, dropkicking roses in the graveyard, decent, like a stone torn in half, dependent advances, despite CIA guideposts, despite non-African past and futures, a metaphorical but not surreal day in the horn-ridden life horn player improvising king. Like a radio prize fight featuring Shango himself, a real hand sweeps the land of racism. May I return to the ground? May I make progress with the gun? On our mother Emmanuel, they put on music that evening. A swinging tight body language for you to drink with fermented $5 bills. For your body language, some applause. My past stomach line ain't neither a good thing nor a bad thing, like being psychic on the way to a lethal injection. It'll sit you down with Lady Day. Lady Day leading youth who surrendered their souls to Africa too soon. Potty thought floating in a cup of water, she saved me. Accessing my stomach, accessing the love of the American lynched. Cold sleeves with an avalanche into the wrist. Our mother Emmanuel, avalanche into the sharp keys. Pain. Fucking deal you make with pain. I mean, a piano makes sense for them. Lay hands on the world gradually. Addressing the bend and necks on the streets of the north, travelers sailing in pain, repeating pain in the north, 10 trigger fingers on that piano. If harmony would have me putting 100 fights on every direction, all for the Lady Day, leaning on trees again, recruiting the countryside itself, saying, lay your plan out on this lightning, make your poems a corner pocket of men. I agree with the blues itself. America may clean my dead body, but will never include me. There goes the poet. Killing without killing. Never mind this painting of your language. May I be a meaningful lynching. a crow's passing. Good and dead by the afternoon. I am so very fucking proud of y'all. You are our only strength. It's an honor to be protected by you.